welcome to Biohacker's live show. My name is Teemu Arina, and right now we are going to be diving deep into daily routines and how to kind of optimize the perfect day. And I'm going to be sharing some of my practices that I do every single day. That could be supplementation, morning coffees, hydration, maybe something about using sauna, infrared sauna, these kind of things, workouts, all that, and how to get yourself ready for some knowledge work. So if that's interesting to you, I have also joining in the studio Siim Land, the author of Metabolic Autophagy, as well as Stronger by Stress, Mineral Fix, Immunity Fix, many other books. And so can we show the slide? Also, thank you very much. Are you able to show that? So Siim Land is an author, anthropologist, podcaster, and performance coach. And with him, on his side, there is also on the studio Inka Immonen, who is MSc in neuropsychology and also Biking Woman instructor on one of our online courses and online programs. She's a science writer and advocate for holistic and functional health care. So together, there we go. So Inka is joining us on the studio, and also we will have Siim Land coming over. And my name is Teemu Arina. I'm the curator of Biohacker Summit and co-author of the Biohacker's Handbook and upcoming Resilient Being book, which, by the way, also Inka is writing together with me and Dr. Olli Sovijärvi. One of the things that we are organizing in end of April, which is very soon, 28 to 30 of April, is the Biohackers Retreat. And this is a full-on retreat in Tallinn, Estonia, where also Inka and me and Dr. Olli Sovijärvi and Siim and many other great instructors will be guiding you through an optimal day. So from the moment when you wake up to the evening when you go to sleep, what would be the kind of daily hacks, optimized things, and you will be doing these things together with us. I'm going to show a little preview of the retreat, but before that, I'll just welcome briefly in the studio also Inka and Siim. Let's see that the connection is working. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Wonderful. Looking good. I see you have a new background. It's white. It's no longer the previous background we had in last webinar. So I see you've been doing some paint job over there. Looks good.
Yes.
Man. Very good. So how has your daily routine been so far?
Today has been like a pretty, regular quiet day, not a lot of errands or things like that. And we have mostly been working and just enjoying the spring that is coming.
We also did infrared sauna.
Oh, yes. And went for walks. We didn't exercise a lot, more like a rest day today. But it was a good sunny day. So we'll talk about the circadian rhythms later. But that's I think a very important thing for optimal daily exposure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you will be also sharing some details on optimizing the circadian rhythm later in this webinar. So before we start, I ask people online to just write on the chat, hello, like where are you from, what's up. We have this stream going on at the Biohacker Summit YouTube channel as well as on the Siim Land YouTube channel, and also we got some stuff going on Biohacker Summit Instagram channel. So wherever you are, please tune in and tell us like who we are, where you're calling in, so that we hear you. Okay, we already have Jaded Optimist from USA. We got Brutal from Texas, Gaida from UK, There is Real Retainer saying just hello to everyone. The Prime Human Info is asking actually when is the summit. So we have actually 2 events coming up right now. So we have the Biohacker Summit 3 and 4 of June in Helsinki, Finland. The topic will be reversing aging, extending health span, and the focus will be on all aspects on optimizing basically your biological potential for living longer. And so we have Jennifer jumping in from New York. Hello, Jenny. Melina from France, living in Helsinki. Welcome. Tom from Helsinki. Amazing. So actually Siim and Inka will also be at the Biohacker Summit in Helsinki, Finland. So you can get your tickets at biohackersummit.com, 3 and 4 of June. It is very easy to come to Helsinki right now and Finland in general, also Estonia where we have the retreat in end of April. So there is no COVID stuff, there is no restrictions or any of that. And if you're wondering about COVID passports and all that, it's not really necessary. So just reach out to us if you have any questions on that. Actually, we could maybe take a quick look on the upcoming Biohacker Summit in Helsinki, Finland. Are you, Eetu, maybe ready to show a little brief overview of it? You got it?
Yeah, send a trailer. Yes.
Cool. So let's play that. So let's show a little teaser on our conference, because it's way more than a conference. It's pretty much an experience, and you will definitely see it on this video. We haven't shown this actually before, so let's take a look at that one.
We are not human beings, but human becomings. You're literally becoming a completely new person at this very moment. Within a year, most cells in your body have renewed, and within 5 years, every single atom that once was part of you has left and found a new home, where empty space can hold energy together again. The choice or the outcome of how this energy manifests is yours. Biohacker, become the better and healthier version of yourself.
There you go. As you can see, it is pretty spectacular, not your typical conference experience at all. And yeah, Siim will be there, I will be there, Inka will be there, and Dr. Olli Sovier will be there. And he's not just a doctor, he's also a kick-ass DJ. You saw him on the video playing also. We have pretty amazing after party on the evening of 4th of June. And there was also some footage of our Optimized Day workshop, which is 2nd of June. So there's a full day where you can like dive into your daily routines together with us, like optimizing a perfect day from the morning when you wake up till the evening when you go to sleep. But yeah, go to biohackersummit.com, get your tickets, and if for some reason you can't come, you can always change to an online ticket, or you can at any time also change to a future event. We also have events coming up very soon. So there's a question about hotel, like what is a good hotel. So this event happens in Helsinki. It's a pretty small place, so I would recommend getting a hotel in downtown Helsinki. There is a conference hotel also, but the information on that is coming soon on the site. It's a new hotel that is opening up. Yeah, we got people from Mexico joining in, from Holland, from Slovakia. Really cool. Hey, I welcome you all. So today we are talking about daily routines and how you can optimize your day. And to kick off, I'm going to show what my daily routine kind of looks like. So the way how I start my day, it depends a little bit of where I am. So if I'm traveling, I have, of course, very different daily routines than at home. But this one is an idea of what happens in my home when I wake up. So my daily routine includes an infrared sauna, some hydration, some morning coffee with supplements thrown in, a little bit of light exercise. And what I usually do is I don't basically look at my phone until I've done all of this. So and there is also a brief moment of meditation, all that. So my idea is that I don't want social media or email or any of that stuff control my day. So I start my day doing all these basic things, maybe a little bit of journaling also in the infrared sauna. And once I'm done all of that, when I sit in front of my computer, that's when I take my phone out of airplane mode. But let's take a look at the video, which pretty much shows like a typical morning for Teemu. There you go. That was a premiere also for that video. So one thing that I also like to do before I just get out of bed, I do some deep breathing techniques. Often I start with the Wim Hof method just to get my system really up and running. And sometimes I lie down on a spike mat when I do that, and that's when I basically wait for the infrared sauna to heat up, and then I'm ready to go for that. What I put in my morning drink, the hydration drink, is usually sea buckthorn juice, which is very high in vitamin C. I put some phytoplankton. If whales can develop one of the most complex nervous system, one of the biggest nervous systems on Earth with phytoplankton alone, so can I. And what I also like to use is green powders and sometimes electrolytes also, just for rehydration purposes. And yeah, of course I do my supplements and all that, but I like to do also whole foods to kick off. What were the ingredients in the drink? Jaded Optimist is asking. So what I have in the coffee, so I mentioned just what the hydration drink has. It actually has spirulina, chlorella, and wheatgrass, a bunch of green powders, basically already extracted, like juices, like freeze-dried juice powder, basically. So there is no fiber in it. And then the coffee itself, I usually put in my coffee some collagen, could be also whey protein in some cases. I also like to use mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms like chaga or lion's mane, sometimes cordyceps. What I also throw in there is MCT oil, medium chain triglycerides, as well as grass-fed butter. In the video, I was using actually grass-fed goat butter, which is slightly different. It's white, and it's pretty cool as well. And I use coffee, which is single origin, water washed, some great stuff, preferably grown in volcanic soil. And coffee is a good carrier, so if I want to balance my blood sugar even further, then I put cinnamon in it. I might use ginseng, all that. And Jaded Optimist also says that she starts dry brushing to stimulate the lymphatic drainage. I actually do that in the infrared sauna sometimes, but as you saw in the video also, I use a massage gun. So a massage gun is very good once you get your body heated up and the muscles relaxed a little bit. So I like to kind of open up a little bit with a massage gun. And I also used one of those grip tests. So grip strength is one of the key kind of indicators of longevity. So I like to do that in the infrared sauna. And one thing that I do, I actually reverse the way how I use infrared sauna. So very often people go to infrared sauna after a workout. So I like to do an infrared sauna first as a kind of pre-workout for the cardiovascular system, and then I do strength training type of or bodyweight training kind of things. So what do you think, Siim, about my morning routine? And are you doing something similar with Inka, or do you have like a completely different typical morning routine?
Well, we have like analogous or not entirely identical, but similar. So we also do like red light. We drink coffee, and we don't like exercise directly, but I mean some yoga movements or some stretching a little bit to kind of mobilize the body a little bit.
And also the walking pad.
Yeah. We're standing actually on a walking pad at the moment. Yeah.
And also microalgae, like the chlorella.
Yeah, like I think it's good to kind of help to obviously hydrate yourself after waking up immediately, but also like, bind to some sort of, because your body is, burning a lot of fat during the night as well, or it's supposed to, and you tend to like mobilize some of the toxins or things like that. And it's a good way to kind of bind to those things right after waking up. And, chlorella and spirulina are good options for that. We actually also use, chlorophyll. We actually make some add some chlorophyll into the water. That's a good binder. And the coffee itself is also like tends to like bind to things as well, both the good and the bad in some situations. So you have to be very careful like when you consume it.
Right. What about supplements? Like, what is your daily regimen? What do you like to take in the morning?
Well, yeah, I take like a whole lot of supplements. I think it's too many to kind of list them out all here, but I would maybe say like in the morning, it's a good from like a caffeine or coffee is a good like a circadian rhythm regulator as well. So it can help to offset the circadian rhythm in the proper way by, making you energized in the morning when you're supposed to be energized, and mobilizing the fat and raising cortisol. Like in the morning, it's actually a good thing to have like high levels of cortisol, because it's supposed to start the circadian rhythm and supposed to make you alert and supposed to start to make you burn fat. So in the morning, like the high peak in cortisol is generally good. And some people who may have low cortisol levels in the morning and they feel tired, then using caffeine can actually be a good way to kind of, give them a little boost and help them to start the circadian rhythm still properly.
About the circadian rhythms, so the Prime Human Info is asking, just wondering about red light as it imitates sunrise and sundown. Is it wise to use it in the morning but also in the evening to induce sleep? So what's your take on red light therapy? I use it to increase nitric oxide production and vasodilation, so it's a very good combination with the full spectrum infrared sauna just before a fasted workout that I do. So what's your take on red light?
The circadian light, like the human centered lightning, so we can maybe show that.
Yeah,
slide.
we can show the slide a bit later, but we personally use it, the kind of panels in the morning. In the evening, you don't want to have like high intensity of even the red light. Just the brightness itself can suppress the melatonin. And in the evening, you just want to have like, just the red light in like the lamp or somewhere else where it's not like directly near your body. And in the morning, the red light panels themselves can stimulate energy production, ATP production, and help to kind of boost the energy for the coming day.
Right. He's also asking about intermittent fasting at OMAD. How does it go with bulletproof coffee or supplements in the fasting window? So I basically, there is days when I'm not having this bulletproof style coffee in the mornings. So I'm just like taking the hydration, maybe only with electrolytes. And then I eat like 2 dinners in the evening in a window of 4 hours. That is some days. That's kind of my intermittent fasting then. On the days when I have the bulletproof coffee in the morning, I might also have like a fibrous lunch. So I'm not doing intermittent fasting every day. I'm not doing OMAD every day. I think you are, Siim, doing OMAD pretty regularly. Is that right?
Well, like I eat the meal once a day, but I have like calories still during the day. Sometimes like the protein shake, or I do also add, like even like some milk to the coffee. So it's not like a completely fasted state, but I don't think that I'm not really breaking the fast in essence, because of my blood sugar is still stable and my insulin levels are stable. And I'm not like really consuming that significant amount of calories. So there's not like this on and off switch that like every single calorie is going to stop it. Like,
right.
And even then it's like, it depends on the goals. Like, do we need it? Do you actually want to have it all the time like that? We don't know. I'm just eating once a day, like out of convenience mostly.
Yeah. So you guys did like blood sugar monitoring also on a regular basis recently, and you learned probably something about your blood sugar regulation. So what did you, Inka, learn about like using a continuous glucose monitor?
Well, I think that was very interesting because, first of all, I just learned about the specific responses on what my body has on food. And we noticed that we have partially different responses on some of the foods. Like you can eat high loads of carbs and you're not getting like a huge spike from that. Me, I ate like this size portion of muesli, and I got like a immediate spike on my blood sugar. I think in the morning, like the key for me that I noticed, one of the biggest things is that what increases my blood glucose in the morning and what do I want to avoid in the morning, because I don't want a huge spike in the morning, because then I'll get the crash and I'll get this kind of afternoon dip in which I need to caffeinate myself or something to get the energy back. So I noticed that, for example, oat milk was pretty bad to my blood glucose. Sometimes I add some plant milk to the coffee, or actually on a regular basis every day. I interchange like oat milk, coconut milk, and almond milk, and only the oat milk was the one that spiked my blood glucose. So that was one of the key takeaways. And then I think one one key insight was that you really become aware of all the other things besides food that affects your blood glucose, like sauna, exercise, stuff like that.
Very interesting. There's actually some good comments and conversation on the chat, both on our channels and Siim Land's channel. So you should definitely follow us, follow Biohacker Summit on Instagram as well as on YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel, and Siim Land likewise on both channels, and Inka Immonen, by the way, on Instagram as well. So Siim Land on Instagram and also his YouTube channel. Star Rider Studios, for example, is sharing that he or she uses Respirate, which is a device for assisted deep breathing. Sounds pretty cool. I haven't tried that. Would be interested to try. I've used Power Lung, and sometimes I do like kettlebell swings with Power Lung, so that kind of restricts breathing a little bit, and it makes it a little bit more effective. And after a sauna session, it's really brutal. Yarrow Willard is there. Yarrow Willard is saying you're getting younger every year, my friend. Yeah, I'm turning actually 40 in a few months, and I think I look younger and younger. Big love to you as well. Hope to see you in Helsinki. So Yarrow Willard has been kind of regular in the summits. He's amazing wealth of knowledge when it comes to wild herbs and mushrooms and just like reconnecting with nature. Check out also his channels, Yarrow Willard, the Herbal Jedi. Cool. So I would love to hear, if people have like specific things that you're doing in terms of your morning routines and daily routines. So if there's something that has not been mentioned, please share. We're happy to bring that out to others as well. Or if you have any questions, we are happy to answer any of those. So it's pretty cool. How do I increase tolerance to the sun? Well, I read that one way to make sure that you're not burning as easily is just to make sure that your vitamin D levels are also high. Like supplementing on vitamin D might help on that one. Also, like gradual like exposure to it, of course. Actually, if you want to get a tan, it's not about being 2 hours in the sunshine and grilling yourself. It's more about like being 15 minutes and sending your biology the signal that you're in sun, you need more melanin, and then going into darkness. So actually the alteration between sun and darkness, like complete darkness, preferably would be the most effective and fastest way to build melanin. So not a long session in the sunshine. So I actually like to make sure I get like in midday, if it's a sunny day, like some of the sun exposure, and then I like to spend in shade most of the day. Yeah, many people take sunshine also in the morning, so they get that. Like here in the Nordic region, it's sometimes difficult, especially winter time. The sun might never rise actually, so you need to use like daylight lamp or a red light device or something like this to kickstart yourself.
It also depends on the diet and the inflammation level. So if basically like your fat tissue is made of almost the fat that you eat, and if you eat like these inflammatory fats that tend to become oxidized very easily, then exposure to the sun will also oxidize those fats in your adipose tissue, and that's where you experience more this inflammation and oxidative stress, which will result in the sunburn as well. And whereas if you eat more let's say anti-inflammatory fats, not seed oils, more like olive oil, MCT oil, butter, lard, animal fats, nuts and seeds, those things that don't oxidize in the heat, then you will also not become this burnt from the sun. Like I've never really gotten burnt. I don't remember ever getting like any like actual burn in the sun. And I do like, although I mean I get exposed to like the sun maybe like in intense amounts only like a few months of the year, but it's never like really happened to me. And also last year I found there was one study that found that NMN actually helps to basically protect against the UV radiation from the sun. So if your NMN levels are low because of many things, high inflammation again lowers NMN levels, then you also get burnt more easily.
Right. Yeah. I actually was in Costa Rica recently, and I got a little bit of tan. Neuralink says that a tan is skin damage. Yeah, that's true. So you don't necessarily want to have a tan, that's for sure. If you want to look young, the reason why I look young is because I don't get sunshine. So here in the northern region, he's suggesting Polypodium leucomotes for SPF protection qualities. I hadn't heard about that. We'll dive it deeper and see what that is. Vivek Shavan says, I have read that mornings should be used for deep focused work and workouts are better in the evening. Thoughts on that? Yeah, actually I think Siim has in the slides about the circadian rhythm. Maybe you can pull out that slide which like shows like different times of the day, and we can maybe talk a little bit about that. The circadian rhythm.
I can start with the entire slides.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's jump into some of that stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll start and then Inka will also add. So this is kind of the main overarching circadian pattern of the human body, the kind of most important one almost, that the cortisol and melatonin diurnal rhythm. So in the morning, like I said, you should produce a lot of cortisol that energizes your body and gives you energy to get out of bed and start moving. And the cortisol starts rising around like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. and peaks at 9 a.m. And after that, it drops down during the daytime. It goes the lowest before bed around 9 p.m. and it stays low while you're sleeping. That's how it's supposed to be. Conversely, melatonin, the sleep hormone, is rising after sunset, and this usually should occur like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. and melatonin reaches its peak around 12 at midnight and gradually starts to decrease. And as the morning dawns, it goes lower, and after sunrise, it is essentially not producing any melatonin at all. And the kind of main idea is that with the cortisol, you're in this active state and producing energy and burning energy as well, and with the melatonin, you're kind of repairing and recovering itself. It's very important for many aspects of anti-aging and longevity, the melatonin hormone.
And of course, like this clock is not definite for all individuals. Like there are different circadian types. So some people might be 2 hours later or like 2 hours earlier, depending on the chronotype of a person.
Yes, yeah. There are like some differences, even like genetic differences, but mostly they're like lifestyle determined that just people have different circumstances and they can't necessarily follow this exact pattern, but this is what is kind of very like characteristic to humans, that we're still supposed to like sleep at night and be awake during the daytime to get all the circadian benefits. And let's carry on with the second slide. So this is where also the same pattern unfolds itself with the spectrum of light that you experience during the daytime from the sunlight. So you can maybe walk through.
So yeah, now we are actually getting into should red light be taken in the morning? Like during sunrise, there is like a lot of this red toned light in the natural environment. So that might be good in the morning. And then during the day, you want the kind of like a full spectrum light in which you get all of the wavelengths of the light. And then towards the evening, you want to again to turn into warm lights so you can have that red light. The issue is that one thing to consider is that some of the red light devices are pretty highly like bright, like very bright, especially if it's a big device. And one of the key regulator of melatonin in the human body is also the light brightness, the intensity. So actually it's very important for the pineal gland, for the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the brain, that the lights are dim in the evening. So that's why like if you have, for example, smart lighting is a pretty good option for the evening, you can turn it red, and you can dim it down a lot as well. And we put the lights like very dim after 6-7 p.m. to get that natural dimness. So that's like after the sunset almost.
Yeah. And when you're sleeping, then that should be like a pitch black, complete darkness to produce melatonin. These different wavelengths of light have different effects on the body, and some of them can be good, some of them can be bad. For example, the blue light that is associated with circadian rhythm mismatches and bad sleeping quality then actually has benefits during the daytime and in the morning. So that is also like a very important signal for the body that it's daytime, and you want to get this blue light in the morning to start the day. And it also is like antibacterial and helps with seasonal affective disorder and mood disorders. Green light is mostly known for like helping with migraines, which I don't know, do you have like any feedback of using green light?
Yeah, like there are these specific green light lamps that has been shown. So basically all other light spectrums, if you have some sort of headache or migraine pain specifically, it has been studied mostly in migraines, it will increase the pain intensity. So if you are exposed to light, because many migraineurs are photophobic, but then for some reason, the research has found that this narrow band of green light actually can decrease the pain up to 20%. And sometimes when I have a migraine, I will go to the clear light sauna and turn the light green and just have that green light exposure. And that definitely helps for the pain. But very interesting research recent years about the green light therapy.
And amber and red are mostly like anti-inflammatory, and red light has been found to improve like skin health and collagen synthesis as well. The circadian lightning. So this is like just an overview of what time would you want to use different lights. In the morning, you want to have high intensity, warm to white light, which mimics sunrise. Obviously, like the most effective thing is to just go outside. But that's not always possible in like different regions of the world, like in the north, or if it's cloudy, you can't always get the exposure to natural sunlight. You should still go outside a little bit to get some brightness. But let's say if you don't have the idea of what kind of spectrums of light you want to focus on, would be that in the morning, high intensity, warm to white light. In the daytime, high intensity, white and cool light. In the evening, some more warmer light with lower intensities. And at midnight, when you're sleeping, no light at all, to kind of help to boost melatonin levels or produce melatonin levels. And if you do go to the bathroom or whatever, you can still use like very dim red lights. Those are still better than the blue light from most lamps and let's say flashlights. So this is the human circadian rhythm, or the circadian clock of the human body, that shows the different times at what happens. So like I said, in the morning, you produce cortisol 6 a.m., 6:30, 8:30 a.m., the most likely bowel movements happen. Night, 9 a.m. is where your sex hormones like testosterone peak. 10 a.m. you have the highest alertness. Then your peak motor coordination is around 2 to 3 p.m. and muscle strength is highest at 5 p.m. You're mostly in terms of muscle power and strength, and your blood pressure and body temperature are highest at 7 p.m. Then you switch over into more like recovery mode or night mode. Your melatonin production starts at like 9 p.m. and reaches its peak at midnight. You also produce growth hormone around the same time in conjunction with the melatonin. You get the deepest sleep, most deep sleep, between the hours of like 11 p.m. and 2 to 3 a.m. And you get REM sleep from the 3 to 6 a.m. And your lowest body temperature is around 4 a.m. So obviously there's, different nuances you have to consider. Maybe you can't work out at 5 p.m. always, or maybe you have to wake up at 8 a.m. or 4 a.m., whatever it is. But yeah, this is what the human body would naturally follow if it were to be in like this nature, disconnected from the artificial interference of the modern world that tends to like disrupt some of these cycles. You have anything to add, you?
No, I think that was pretty comprehensive.
Okay, good.
Pretty good. Amazing. Let's stop here now for a second and see what comments and so on we have. Question: what red light device do you recommend? So I'm using my own supply. So here is the Biohacker's Spotlight device. I'm using the one that comes with, is an add-on to the Clear Light sauna. If you, by the way, want to get a discount on Clear Light infrared saunas and red light device and all that, if you go to any of their websites, for example, clearlightsauna.eu, you can reference the code Teemu's Sauna, and you will get a nice discount on that. In terms of red light panels, we have a big panel, full body panel, and also half stack in the biohackercenter.com store. And yeah, that's pretty cool. If you're in the UK, I would recommend Red Light Rising. It's a good company to get the device locally. And yeah, we have the Flex Beam. Actually, we are getting new stock in a few weeks. We should put that back in sale. Actually, the Flex Beam device, that's great for a portable one for targeted use. I often use this one actually at computer for neck and sometimes for wrists and stuff like that. So I have like slightly different kind of devices. I found a way to use all of them for different reasons. The Spotlight is great for targeted use, like for thyroid. I usually travel with this one because it's compact, but the bigger panel is great in the morning as well. Starride Studios is mentioning the Dose app for melatonin and tracking those things. So I guess it's Dose with 2 E's. At least there is a new sleep kind of app and device that gives pretty comprehensive data on sleep. There's also mention of Keto Mojo meter for tracking blood glucose. I also use that one because it gives you a glucose to ketone index, so you can understand better how both fasting blood sugar or glucose as well as ketone bodies like interact together. So if you want to get into a nutritional ketosis, the Keto Mojo device is great for getting both of those information bits at the same time. Yeah, there's some good points here. Now, ashwagandha, like what to use in the evening in terms of supplements. Melatonin is of course one thing, but I would microdose it. Instead of taking like 1 milligram or more, I would take like 0.1 or 0.2 milligrams. You don't really need it that much, especially if you're young. As you get older, you probably need more. I use also ashwagandha. Ashwagandha reduces your cortisol levels by like 15% on a regular use. Phosphatidylserine does the same on regular use, 800 milligrams, if I remember correctly the dose. I might be wrong. But I remember that a lower amount didn't do much, so you need to use a bit higher dose on that to get some results. For blood sugar regulation, I learned from Sean Wells, who is a master biochemist. He's coming to speak also at Biohacker Summit, by the way, from US. He told me that dehydroberberine is one of the best blood sugar regulators. So berberine is great, but dehydroberberine is way more effective, and it might be even better than metformin in that regard. So there's some tips on that. Now, if you want to learn more about optimizing your day, you can come to Biohacker Summit. Sean Wells will be talking there. Siim Land will be there. Inka will be there. I will be there. So many other people will be there, and you hopefully will be there as well. So that's 3 and 4 of June in Helsinki, Finland. And if you are interested to come in April, in end of April, we have the Biohacker Summit, Biohackers Retreat. So maybe we can show the screen. So Biohackers Retreat is 28 to 30 of April. And yeah, it's pretty cool event. Basically, we have 3 days together to learn all different aspects of biohacking and how to optimize yourself. So all the questions you guys are throwing, we have very deep, thorough information on them. If you're interested in heat alteration, saunas, infrared saunas, baths, cold showers, cryotherapy, breathing techniques, all of these we will be guiding you like hands-on at the retreat, and we have some of the best information that we dive really deep into when it comes to some of these aspects. And yeah, so here are some of the instructors coming over, and looking at the program itself. The first day is kind of the principles on biohacking, so we dive into all the basic aspects of biohacking. It's kind of a good landing. So if you arrive on that morning or the day before, we kind of start easy from lunch and get into some of the information and optimizing metabolism, health and well-being. And then we have amazing 3-course dinner. Sami Talberg is our chef, and he makes amazing wild herb salads and wild game and fish and all that. It's very friendly for different diets. And the whole space is really amazing. This whole like retreat center itself is very conscious place. And it's a circular space. We are basically on yoga mats, and the second day is the hard part. So that's the optimized day. We start early with yoga and maybe a forest run, collecting some wild herbs, learning about nature and nature connection. We go into, after a brief morning wake up, into a workshop on upgrade coffees and teas and all that. That's where you learn about all these supplements and how we use them. And then we have advanced supplementation workshop. So we go into all the nitty-gritty details of different supplements and how to use them on your daily practice. And then we have the upgrade lunch, also ketogenic friendly. And then we go into biohacking technologies, biomarkers, wearables, tracking. We have all these different devices there that you can try out. Then we jump into optimized energy and focus and stress, including some body workouts. And that's where we talk about mitochondria, the nervous system, how to optimize yourself and your day. We do some, then we get into the real deal, which is like breath work, heat alteration, sauna, ice baths, all of these things. And it all kind of culminates in the evening in an amazing like fire and cacao ceremony with shamanic drumming. And yeah, it's very profound. People who were there in last September, you can actually listen on this side, like some of the interviews of the people who came there. It's very heart opening event. It's very conscious setup, the whole thing, how we kind of end the whole evening. And actually I have amazing DJ coming over to guide like some shamanic journeys as well, and maybe some ecstatic dance type of things. And we have amazing dinner as well on the second evening. And the third day is kind of recovery and integration day. So that's when we go into an extremely deep sound and vibration journey together. And that's a good moment to really reflect on what you have learned and integrate things. And then we share things together and we learn about the experiences. And maybe we can show like the short trailer, if you can play like the short one, the 1 minute one. We can show like how it kind of all looks like briefly. what I would love to hear is like your experience of the Biohackers retreat, and what would you say to people coming over there, especially about learning about their daily routines?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. That was a question to you.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think the event is pretty like incredible because you have like everyone is there because of the same interest and because of the same passion and desire to just, you know, be healthy and optimize their life for, you know, vitality and longevity and all those things. And you do meet, like immediately you start to make friends from there. And yeah, it's going to be pretty both like, you know, it's just fun all the time, and you get to learn many things, and yeah, it's pretty damn fun. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the type of the people that come there are very genuine, honest, open people who just want to enhance the health and well-being, and also just, you know, make friends, have fun at the same time. And I love the aspect in the retreat that it's not one of those conferences or one of those events where you go and you come back from there being like super tired and being super like too much information, too much going on, but it's actually in the nature. You get to recover and rest meanwhile you are there as well, and you come back refreshed, inspired, and just because of the atmosphere, the environment, and all of the activities that we do there. So yeah, I really did enjoy it, and I hope to see many of you there for sure.
Yeah, so go to biohackersretreats.com and you will find more information over there, and you can meet us in person. That's a really deep dive, and if you can't join this one, which is very easy to come, by the way, Estonia is fully open, like there's no COVID restrictions either here anymore. If you can make that one, please come to Helsinki, 3 and 4 of June. Our topic is reversing aging, extending health span, and how to optimize yourself from a cellular level up to the whole organism that you are. I'm very excited about the whole conference and what's coming up with that. And we have the Optimized Day workshop there a day before. That's like like a few days before. That's 1st of June, which is like a mini version of the retreat, which is also one option. But with this, like, thank you very much for everyone. I'm gonna play like some of the feedback from our guests in the retreat, so they can firsthand tell some of their experiences as well. And with that, I welcome you all. So let's play that longer version.
The Biohackers Retreat teaches you how to become the master of your own body as well as mind. How do you regulate different processes inside the body to achieve particular goals, and how to, just become superhuman.
This event is about coming together to be able to connect with other people and a platform that will facilitate the discovery of products, services, experiences, and people to help them to become the best that they can become.
It's a beautiful setting here in nature to be offline and not connected to the hectic of your normal busy life, and being amongst nice people and get all that information. I think those are the 3 ingredients that I can recommend to participate in it.
This is the perfect place to get people connected again, sharing ideas, sharing thoughts, sharing feelings, and feeling good together.
You get to know them so well over the course of these 2 to 3 days, and you make very great friends and acquaintances for the rest of life.
But also like the safety and the feeling, the ability to feel full stop, actually. Feeling again. It's been crazy times, you know.
Biohacking isn't one field specific. It's the meeting, merging, and combination of all different fields, from nutrition to physiology, to psychology, to philosophy, spirituality, socializing, and anthropology, and many other fields. They all merge together in paradigm of biohacking.
What I really appreciated was the integration of body, mind, and spirit in community and meet other people also on a similar path of health and wellness, because everybody is a wounded healer. All of us are born into this world with struggles and issues, and some of us have the opportunity to spend time, most importantly, with other people on this journey.
Obviously, there's also a lot of fun things and activities that also are going on. Morning yoga routines, different kinds of breathwork exercises, shamanic drum ceremonies, cacao rituals, and of course, not to mention all the people that you get to meet.
They're the most earnest and well-intentioned people in the world that are looking to work on themselves and that are looking to work on the world to make it a better place.
People from across the entire globe, the United States, Mexico, Europe, UK, Russia, Singapore, Estonia, Finland, Sweden, any other corner of the world. Biohacking is something that brings us all together. And then being so motivated for just living towards our fullest potential as human beings, that you start to spread that same positivity and message of good health.
I'm really excited about collaborating with some of the wonderful entrepreneurs and people that have come here, because I'm an investor and advisor, to help them on their journeys to scale their social impact and eco-impact companies.
Biohacking is this beautiful, uniting sort of umbrella where all of us kind of fit under there somewhere. But you'll have people from certain parts of the world that have never experienced cold before. You've got people that have never actually, practiced conscious breathing before. So that's why I love coming here and being able to sort of like fold people in and get people close to each other.
It's always fun to be amongst biohackers. They are all nice people, and I don't know why, because they eat the proper food or whatever, or take the right supplements or do the right exercises or the right lifestyle, but they are full of energy, positive people. Very good to be in that setting. It's loaded with information, and I absorb it and try to learn as much as possible.
The idea, sharing and flow of information is just like crazy. The questions that have been asked kind of forces everybody to rethink their own things, challenges a little bit, which is good, which is really healthy. But then you get to meet friends. I mean, you're going to see these people again, and you're going to join a community as well, and that's the really appealing thing, I think. You get to reach out to different people from around the world, so yeah, it's truly an international event too.
I survived a brain tumor almost 11 years ago, and that put me on the pathway for wanting to understand my biology. We're in a place in time in history where we have the most amazing technology to help us measure our biomarkers, our genes, our microbiome. So I'm really excited to adopt some of the clinical and products that Biohacker Center curated, to use them to further focus on my personalized wellness journey. I discovered some really incredible devices that I'm excited to try and incorporate into my routine.
I think for me, what I'd like to implement from here is a little bit more of the micronutrients. There was a few things that became a little bit, I was quite aware of, like scratching under, like, oh yeah, that's right.
When we take nutritions and supplements, it's really important to understand when you take what supplements, what you don't take with each other. So the further nuances, the granular nuances that you don't really hear about, is adopting those within my lifestyle too.
We are kind of lucky, this part of the world, to have some beautiful, like locally sourced sort of ingredients and sort of like remedies from the nature and things like that. And one thing I'm really happy about is actually medicinal mushrooms is a theme here. And, I've been away from those for a while, and I'm going to be diving into those a bit more in the not too distant future for sure. So I'll be guiding like a really beautiful breathwork session where we actually get people together like a big tribe. Really, really deep breathwork practice. So it's very beneficial for the body, of course, but also for the mind, the soul even. Also explaining how the breath works, why these big practices work, how CO2 tolerance is important, how to actually get the oxygen delivered into the cells. So there's a lot of things we don't know. It's just breathing, but actually breathing is everything. So also a cold exposure session, big group session, which is like one of my favorite things to do. We've got like a beautiful little pond here I think the temperature is something like 9 to 11 degrees or something like that. And then, of course, we're really lucky and fortunate to have these saunas here. So I'm going to be talking a little bit, about the benefits of sauna as well. When to take sauna, how to take it, doing it in this meditative way where it's nice and peaceful and not like too much chatter in there.
It's one of the most unique events in the world when it comes to health optimization and personal development, because no other event is as cutting edge in science, while at the same time being very fun, very free-flowing, and having such a wide range of different people.
Without doubt, every time I come to an event like this that's run by Teemu and the gang here, is like the food is exceptional. You are given all the things, everything that you need to not only function, but like function at a really high level.
I've traveled the world for retreats and conventions and conferences, but the level of intention and integrity and ethics and quality and caliber of people in this intimate setting is truly special from a global perspective. So that's why I would recommend, if people have the opportunity to, definitely come to the next retreat.
I had the best night's sleep last night. We did a sleep workshop in the evening, just around about the same time we kind of wrapped up the dinner. So we had this nutritious food, the right kind of supplements, and it was just the most blissful night's sleep I've had for a long time. So, and that's not in my own bed as well. So it's a credit to like the work that's been done here and the time that's been put into the curation of the program.
Quality of people and this beautiful setting with the best curated programming, the best products for us to try. So it's this beautiful, holistic experience all coming together in the retreat experience.
And once you have done it, I think you will do it again. I'm sure.